disaster that occurred last night at the Coliseum. I don't think the Rams were nearly as good as all of us were led to believe that they were going to be. A lot of holes on that offensive line. Well, they lost what? They lost Safford signed with somebody else. And that Hervenstein is injured. Their offensive line is just a disaster. No holes for Gurley, no protection for Goff. They've got some rebuilding to do.
Well, I'd rather talk about the impressive Baltimore Ravens than I would the actual Rams.
They're for real.
They're for real, and I think the game this weekend is against San Francisco is going to be, kind of like a pre-Super Bowl almost type of deal. But it was ugly from the beginning. It was pure domination from the very beginning, and I think we got to look at more at patting the back of Ozzie Newsome, who kept trading down to get Lamar Jackson and trading and getting more of some better opportunities for future picks. And letting hiring a offensive coordinator that understands what Lamar Jackson needs and how the offense should be run. And I look at it by saying, Greg Roman has done a phenomenal job by taking that job and probably going back to the Louisville days and saying, wow, how can we expose pro defenses with the actual weapons that we have? And obviously it took a little bit, but that's John Harbaugh understanding that and letting this kid go and letting him do his things and keeping. Last night Jackson looked so relaxed. He couldn't do anything wrong, right? He threw the ball on the run. He ran for a lot of yards. He threw the ball deep. His receivers caught the football. And you're getting that defense is it's like the old Baltimore type of defense, right? Where they didn't even score, So I look at it this way: is that is a contender to win the Super Bowl. And I think these defensive coordinators got really their hands full. And I tell you why. It's hard for them to find somebody to play the role of Lamar Jackson in practice.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? It's really hard. And then it's, kudos to them. They went out and got, Griffin III, which is a guy that has the same type of attributes, just a little bit slower and older, but they're not missing really, they're probably missing a little bit of explosive plays, but it's a guy that is out of the same mold, right? So I'm really impressed with what they've done, and it was complete. I wish Vince was here because it was, but it was complete domination and embarrassment, and it really is telling us that the Rams are not what they were last year.
No, they're a ways away.
Ways away. And Peters is loving it. He chimed in with Ramsey a little bit on the way out.
Yep.
But
especially too with the Rams, they have all their stars locked up.
Yeah. I mean, and they've and here's the deal: they've spent a lot of money. And it is what it is. There's not a lot they can go get.
No.
And now you're going to put that team to open up that brand new stadium.
Yeah.
And they're struggling. I don't know if everybody's figured out what McVay does, and he was a mystery. And is this going to be the same thing next year?
Could be.
Is everybody going to figure out how to defend Jackson? Because there was times last year Jackson was hesitant to throw the football, right? So, it's not good in L.A.
No.
Both sides, like the Chargers and the Rams. It's not good. Chargers had a great victory this week, not playing on Sunday.
No, they beat by again.
They beat by again.
Close though.
But we made a field goal to win at the end. But that was very, very impressive last night. And it really, that defense was on the field a lot, and it got exposed. And that was. I'm curious to see how they're going to come out of that. I think they have a pretty good, easy game the next.
Arizona next week.
Oh.
In Arizona.
Yeah, that's not an easy game.
That's not an easy game anymore.
Nope.
Especially, too, when you look at that division. I mean, the Niners are not going anywhere. Seahawks, everybody thought were going to, kind of fall apart and kind of rebuild, but, they've almost kind of just reloaded with the whole Clowney situation.
Right.
Cardinals are up and coming again with, I think Kyler Murray and this Kingsbury thing this duo is working somehow. But, I mean, look at, some of the throws that Goff was missing last night those are unacceptable. You can't miss those type of throws if you're a big-time QB.
We talked about this, right? If he runs into a really good defense, he's not good.
Yeah.
He only exposes bad defenses. That's the only way he feels comfortable. But, he got his butt kicked in San Francisco, against San Francisco. He got his butt kicks against Baltimore. These are good defenses.
Yeah.
And he's he's not that good when it comes to that, being exposed by good defensive lines and guys that are covering his receivers and not having Cooks, right? He doesn't have that explosive guy. Did Cooks play? I'm sorry, did Cooks play last night?
I watched a little bit, not very much.
Yeah.
So,
they
they don't have that guy can beat them deep, and so
they don't have a lot of draft picks, do they?
No, they got rid of them.
They got rid of them all.
So I'm curious to see what they kind of do in the offseason, but I know they're a wild card. They're wild for the wild card, but the way that they still got to play Seattle, they still got to play San Francisco.
That's not going to happen.
I don't see it happening.
No.
So, and this was just a perfect example of, hey, look at if you ever want to know what a Super Bowl team looks like, you just saw it. So.
Well, they got booed at the end. They're going on.
As they should.
Yeah.
And I didn't watch a lot of it, but
No,
I did. What was the crowd like? Was it more? Did you hear was it 50-50? Was it more Rams fans?
I would say more Ram fans, to be honest with you.
So. I don't think Baltimore travels that well. Not like Green Bay or
Pittsburgh
or Oakland.
San Francisco.